we lead with honesty, right? Sometimes that means a hard conversation, but it's honesty not only with your team, but with your clients, with your vendors. And so if you're not straight up right from the jump, what do you have after that? Yeah. Accountability, right? It stops with us. If we're on a job with a client and we make a mistake, we own it. Yeah. And our rule is that we like to own it before they ask us if we made a mistake. Put it out on the table, and it's not easy. That's the hard conversation, right? And you have to do it though.
Welcome to the In the Arena podcast. My name is Jared Miguez, a co-host on this podcast that brings you the inspiring stories of our clients who are leaders and innovators across different industries in Southeast Louisiana. They are visionary entrepreneurs, savvy real estate professionals, media creators, military business owners, and community champions. And we are going to showcase the remarkable achievements and share their personal stories. Tune in for insightful conversations, valuable lessons, and motivational stories that are going to reveal their secrets to success and offer you insights to help you on your own path. Welcome to In the Arena Podcast. Welcome to In the Arena Podcast, guys. I'm really excited to have another conversation with my friend here and tell everybody about what you do. So first of all, let's just start out who you are, what your name is, the name of your business, and we'll get rolling into it.
You go ahead.
Ladies first.
I'm Jamie. I am the Director of Amazement and CEO at AFX Pro.
AFX Pro, that's a badass name. What you got, buddy?
Good to be here again. I'm Mike Andrepont. I'm the creator of Memorable Moments at AFX Pro.
Cool. So we were at the Chamber Expo together. We did a brief little summary of what your business was, and after we kind of talked about it, I wanted to get to know you guys more because it sounds like y'all are operating a cool business, but more than that, y'all are impacting your employees and have a culture that I think is cool. I want to talk about it. And also, you made a comment that I haven't forgotten when we were talking at the expo. You said it's a good day at your office when you walk into the warehouse and there's smoke on the ground and like there's something that's like on fire over here and y'all are playing with toys and things like that. So y'all got a really cool business. Let's start out with just telling people like what y'all do generally, because I don't think people realize in St. Tammany Parish there are people that offer the things y'all offer.
Yeah. I think the easiest way to explain it is we're in the special effects business with special events. So everything from major sporting events to weddings to birthdays to corporate events to nonprofit fundraisers. We help take those to the next level with lights and smoke and lasers and all the extra stuff. Yeah. So you probably have a different way to say that.
Oh, okay, so let's see your perspective on it.
No, that's definitely, I think, a good description. Mike's favorite is he loves bubbles. That's his favorite effect.
Yeah. I haven't met one person that if I turn on a bubble machine, they don't smile.
Yeah, look, man.
You have no choice.
The calf shaking instead of there. I mean, I think
you have no choice.
I have a hard time disagreeing with you. My kids, dude, it's incredible when a bubble shows up. Like, it's just they light up. I completely agree with you. So I think you touched a wide range of things. And again, just from my perspective as a third party who had no idea that y'all did what you do other than us having the conversation, you will do anything from a birthday party, graduation, popping streamers, to the pyro at the Saints home game in the Superdome whenever Davis is running out, when his pregame run out, and he's got the fireworks and the sparklers going off, and there's music, and like y'all do the whole nine, right?
That's right.
From A to Z.
And I'll tell you, most people, when they hear you do the NFL or the NBA, they think, oh, this isn't going to work for my high school graduation. Yeah. But it's just not true. It's not true.
Yeah. So y'all are there to service all those things.
Exactly.
And I think one of the things that's important that I want to talk about too is that whenever you're talking to a business that works in our community, right? You said you're born and raised here, right? And same with you?
No, I'm from around Lafayette.
But you were born and raised here, right? People that have been here for a long time. I'm from Alexandria. I'm not from here. My partner Lauren is going to come in a second. She is from St. Tammany Parish. So as somebody who's not from here, right? Not from here, but working with a partner who is from here, like our local community is so important, right? And y'all have cool services you offer, like we talked about. But the nonprofits that y'all, you used to be in the nonprofit world and the community that we're operating in, it's important that people support other businesses that are giving back to the community, right?
Yes.
And we talked about it, right? You have your culture is important to your organization. Unless you keep growing your organization to a place where your employees can accomplish everything they want to within it, they're not going to stay. But as we're talking about our communities, we have to make our community of St. Tammany a better place in order for us to accomplish all the things we want to accomplish within our community too. And that's what the nonprofits do, right? And it's important that we give back to those nonprofits. So y'all's mindset towards the St. Tammany Parish community and how y'all support that. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, like you said, I was born and raised here in Covington, so I am very partial to the
Local
area.
lady.
And I worked in nonprofit for over 20 years. And so, after day one working in a nonprofit, I realized that there was so much life that was so much bigger than me. And so it was really important for me to dig in and see what are the things that I can give back. And so 20 years later, for the first time, I'm not working in nonprofit. And so it made me very concerned, that I would lose my purpose. But it is so fulfilling to say, okay, we're going to do this for profit stuff, but we're going to give our time and we're going to give our money and we're going to give our stuff and it's going to feel awesome. And so just seeing how successful our nonprofits are here in impacting our community is worth it. Yeah. I want to be a small part of what they're doing because it's building up our community, right? You don't want anyone to suffer in your hometown. You want them all to thrive. So businesses that do that, I actually, in most of our business, when we're talking to our vendors, that's important to us too. We want to hire people and work with people that are giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same values.
Yes.
I have one big question for you, saying you just came out of the nonprofit world.
Yes.
I've heard that it's harder to raise money than it is to earn money.
1 billion%. My last role was development director at the North Shore Food Bank. That was my last big time role. And it was so exciting for people to actually stay and talk to me. When you go in the grocery store and like, oh my God, she's going to ask me for money again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not asking for money anymore. It's very easy.
I just want to give you pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just want to light things on fire.
Just want to have a party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So different feel. It is a challenge.
Wait, do you have disco ball earrings on?
Oh, because we own them. Hello. If anybody needs some mirror balls, we
That's
have
awesome.
those.
That's
Yes.
Okay.
I left,
Sorry.
I left,
Sorry,
I
squirrel.
left mine at home. I didn't wear it
Put your
today.
disco balls
I
on.
didn't wear it today.
So I did want to make sure we touched on that early because I want people who listen to this podcast to understand the type of people y'all are. Because again, you can go get the services y'all are offering from places in New Orleans. You can go to places in Baton Rouge or even Houston if you want to have a big event and you want to have some really elaborate stuff. But y'all can do that locally, and it's important to give to the people in the community that are also giving back to the community.
Amen.
And so I really wanted to make sure that we talked about that. So let's talk about some events that y'all have done around town so people can kind of get a bigger picture of what y'all do. So talk about what y'all do on Coop Drive for Christmas every year.
Go ahead.
So we participate in Holiday of Lights. I think this will be our third big year. And so if you're at Holiday of Lights on Coop Drive, you'll see our lasers, our snow machines. We have some lights over by the tower and a mirror ball. You do. You absolutely need a snow machine. Yes. So and a ton of up lights, and so we just bring a little elevation to the event, which I love in our area. So that's a big one. I came from the food bank, so every year they do Pallets with Purpose. If you're in that building, those are our lights.
Very
So we love to dress that up, and they let us play, which is pretty cool. So,
That's local, right? That's St. Tame Parish.
Yep.
Covington Food Bank. Well, it's now the North Shore Food Bank, so on West 30th Avenue. And they just had an event last Friday, and they broke their record. I think they raised a little over $100,000. But
Heck yeah.
yay!
Wow,
I'm so
that's
proud of
that's
them. They're
incredible.
doing really great things.
So,
So,
talk about some of her favorite events. What's some of your favorite events that y'all do?
So we just did, we do Hammers and Heels. We do some work with them. We did Heroes Who Cook, which was pretty cool. We did
Cool.
some
What'd y'all do
things
Heroes
out
Who
there.
Cook?
We had a couple of, we had some bubbles for a minute. We had a couple of big Air Star lights. And then when they gave away the big prize at the end, we did some sparks for that, kind of make that.
Oh, I did
take
see
that,
the stage had the
take
sparks.
that
That was you
moment.
guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
very cool.
Take that
Okay.
moment.
He
so
was there.
I was there. Yeah,
Honey.
we had a live
Missed you.
podcast there.
Yeah. I saw you guys.
Yeah, we
I saw
were
you
there.
guys.
That was good. We actually about to release that with the Chamber Expo stuff. So everybody, stay tuned. A lot of good content's coming out soon. So the business is great, right? I think I'm glad that people understand that y'all exist, that people can contact you guys. We already have a reason to call you back for our snow machine at our Christmas party.
That's right.
But I want to talk about how y'all operate your business too, because I think it's important to connect the values of your organization, and I think your clients will resonate, and the people who are listening to this will be better business people because of what we're about to talk about. And so, you talked about values and you talked about company culture. So, tell me what company culture means to you guys, and some of the projects y'all are working on internally to help build the culture within your organization.
I think for one, it's we lead with honesty, right? Sometimes that means a hard conversation. But it's honesty not only with your team, but with your clients, with your vendors. And so if you're not straight up right from the jump, what do you have after that?
Yeah.
Accountability, right? It stops with us. If we're on a job with a client and we make a mistake, we own it.
Yeah.
And our rule is that we like to own it before they ask us if we made a mistake. Put it out on the table, and it's not easy. That's the hard conversation, right? And you have to do it though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
For me, I was very fortunate to have some really cool supervisors in my lifetime. Maybe some not so cool, but the cool ones really stuck out for me that they invested in me. They weren't as worried about what I was going to do for them. They were worried about how I was going to grow and succeed as a person. And so I said, man, if I ever have my own business, I'm totally doing that. And so that was like the most important thing for me when I bought the business was everybody gets training dollars. Everybody gets to go do trainings, and it doesn't have to be specific to their role. There are some trainings that we do together as a staff team, but then I give them the luxury of just going and picking out the other things that they want to do and grow. I love them and I want them to stay, but if they decide they're going to do something else, I just want wherever they go next to be like, ooh, they did a good job with this staff, So like that was really, really big to me. And also benefits. Sometimes when you're in a smaller community, benefits are hard to come by. And so we took a pretty strong financial hit when I said, that's it. We're doing simple IRA. We're doing health benefits, making sure everybody's got PTO. I would rather do that and have my folks appreciate the work than not. So, that was the most important thing for us, I think, when we started was just caring for your people. I mean, I'm only as good as the weakest link on the team. So I try to hire everybody better than me so that, they all make me look good.
How do y'all go through that process when you're looking for new talent to come on your organization?
So because we're so unique, it depends on what we're looking for, right? We literally do all of the lighting. At the Pelicans, we're controlling it during the game. And so you obviously have to have a very technically savvy person for that. But then you also are going to do what I call, like the me's, the cart pushers. And so some of our LSU gigs, you're just pushing a cart out. And so that can be anybody. And most of our staff actually have full-time jobs, careers in other places in our community. And they do this for fun. They'll come out and meet us on a Saturday or a Sunday just to enjoy it. So it depends on what we're looking for. I do like to outsource because we are small. I like to outsource to some local businesses for things that I don't think are necessary for us to do internally, for us to just stay good at what we're doing. So.
Yeah. Let's say, are y'all using any type of value system assessments, or are y'all doing personality as behavioral assessments whenever y'all are bringing on employees?
They sure are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a testament to that.
Yeah.
And a testament to the fact that y'all actually invest in your people. So we met because Jamie was putting together a retreat for her company. So it was one of those days that they were spending time together to improve themselves. And we were blessed enough to be the disc part of that day.
Nice.
I will tell you that's exactly what I'm talking about, though, by going to other local businesses. I'm not the expert in a retreat. I just knew that I wanted my staff to do it. So having something in our parish, like you guys are top notch, right? I worked in other places in the country and have worked for very big organizations, national organizations. I've had really great trainings. Your training is right at the top. So I mean, we're very fortunate to have businesses like that in our area that are skilled in those types of, and I feel like my staff were so appreciative afterwards, right? Like, you invested in me. Like, that was the real deal. There was an attorney in there.
yeah.
She was in there yelling at us.
No, they loved it. And I'm usually...
Lauren said, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, that is some of what we heard back.
Personal awareness is what Lauren said. You make sure you're reviewing your disc
That's
assessment.
right.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right.
But those things are critical, right? I mean, people know you're being genuine whenever they walk in the room and you're talking about these things, and you're assessing their ability to do the job well and enjoy the job based on an intentional way of assessing that, right? Most businesses are just like, I interviewed you, I liked them, I got a good vibe, I'm going to bring them in and see what happens. But you have no idea, based on that type of conversation, whether their behavioral assessment is going to fit the role that you're trying to put them in. In order for you to be intentional and hire people and put them in the right spot, you've got to have some form or fashion of vetting people. But also, there's the personal awareness side of the DISC assessment that we like to talk about a lot, that if you're not constantly reevaluating what you're doing and how you're doing it and making sure that you're giving yourself the best opportunity to grow, then you're not going to make the impact that you want to make, right?
Especially as a leader.
Especially as a leader.
You cannot lead if you don't have personal awareness.
That's right.
You're so right. And I have to say, the one thing that I learned later in life that I'm glad that I know now is I don't want people like me working for me. And so we have such a really cool group of everybody has their own type on the disc.
That's right.
And so we work really, really well together.
You're
because,
full circle.
Yes, we are. And that feels really good. And so hiring a new person, if we ever lose any of our leaders, that's absolutely a great tactic for us is to make sure that they're part of our circle and that it makes sense for them as well.
And as business owners and leaders, if you have a scarcity mindset and you're trying to keep all your people and you're scared they're going to leave because you don't think you have the ability to lead other people, or those people are so critical to your organization. I mean, you're telling on yourself in a way that you don't truly have a method of growing people and helping them grow, and having the mentality, of saying I'm comfortable with somebody stepping out and leaving and going to something bigger and better to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish is important. I beat a dead horseman. I like getting on bandwagons and not and holding on to them. But everybody truly is trying to accomplish whatever they personally want to accomplish. So they wake up every morning thinking, am I going to create the life and the goals and the family that I want to create, right? And that's a customer, an employee, or you as a business owner, and you have to think, how can I help this person become whatever they want to be, so that they can make the impact they want to make. And as a leader of an organization, if you're not thinking that and constantly trying to help your employees get where they want, you're not going to have great people that want to work for you.
Yeah, you're going to lose them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's super important. And so y'all have goals y'all are trying to accomplish. You say you talked a lot about goals before we got started, and I love hearing people talk about their goals. Do you have a method and way of creating and knocking down goals that you set up for yourself?
Yes. So I had an idea, and now I'm in the middle or the end of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. It has kicked my butt, but it was really great because what my idea was to do a retreat, create these lovely goals, check in every quarter, and then see where we're at. And it's very different now that I'm almost finished with the class. It's a lot more systematic, and so you have to have a date. And so for each of the goals that we had, we actually broke them apart a little bit more as a staff team to be a lot more specific about what we're accomplishing and hard dates to accomplish them. Obviously, we knew our biggest one was going to be standard operating procedures. We were very loosey-goosey, and I think if we say we're consistent, we're reliable, you have to have that organization. Most of the staff, they are very creative. I am the organized person, and so this has been a fun project for me, less for them, but we should all do standard operating procedures.
Say it one more time, that word. You're getting Lauren excited. Every time you say standard operating procedures, she gets excited.
My blood pressure spikes.
And
Isn't it exciting?
It's exciting because, I tell people this all the time, and I actually had a conversation last week with an artist, and he kind of works with both sides of his brain. He's creative, but he also likes the structure and the process. And I think some creative people get caught up in the idea of not wanting to be put in a box.
Yes.
But what he the way he said it made a lot of sense to me. It's like, if you're a creative human being and you need to have this time and energy and space in order to be able to think and be creative, you have to isolate the tasks that you can keep can be isolated, so that they're not taking up the space because they're not organized to be able to be creative, right? You put a box around the things that you can put a box around, make those things be predictable so you know when those things are going to happen, and you prioritize those at certain times, and then go and be creative at the rest of the time. If you just kind of let everything kind of ebb and flow, those things that you can put in a box end up taking up the creative aspect of your time, and now you can't do the things you enjoy.
It's the freedom and discipline approach.
Yes. And so I think that's great. And I think articulating that to your team is important. Like, I'm not trying to put you in a box. I'm trying to make sure that we structure the things we can to allow you to be as creative as you can be. And I think, the standard operating procedures are something that most business owners shy away from because it's hard and it takes time. And then once you've established them, the really hard part is they're never finished.
That's right.
You're constantly making them better.
They're living.
They're living documents, and creating an environment to where you can pinpoint issues that usually stem from your system not being as efficient as it can be.
Yep.
So you're constantly growing and learning and becoming a better version of yourself in your business is
Yes.
the key to really being a successful business in general.
And that's the hard part in our business, because we are a group of creatives. The work we do is creative. It has to be. And so those of us that are guilty of not wanting to be in a box just want to go turn on bubbles and lights and fall. No, I'm with it. And here's why. Because if we don't, we can't grow to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Right? The next
Less
person,
creative opportunity.
the next person comes in the door. How are they going to do their job? We've got to spend, X number of times training them the right way instead of just showing them the SOP that we've already got, and we rock. And so if we don't build a foundation, the rest of it's
Well, and we're working to
what?
scale. Like everybody across the board in the staff team is like, we're ready, because we had never marketed before, and so I said, if we market, you got to be ready. We're ready. And I'm like, okay, where's the procedures? You cannot scale
You can't.
if you don't have your foundation. So that's our main 2026. While we're scaling a little bit, we're being a little intentional about scaling.
Yeah.
St. Tammany to Baton Rouge area. I think we're trying to.
I'm noticing y'all
Go
getting
west.
out there.
Come on.
That's for sure. So it's
Yeah.
happening.
Good.
I think the other part of SOPs that makes me sad, I suppose excited, is that I think people just make it a bigger deal than it is.
I
right?
agree.
They get overwhelmed with the idea, like standard operating procedure. It's so formal. It's so official, and I don't have time. Just start a freaking checklist.
that's right.
I want
Like,
to go on
stop
vacation.
getting overwhelmed with the format.
I can't go if
Yeah.
nobody knows what I do. I just
Right.
want to go on vacation sometimes, and that's what everybody wants to go on vacation, right? You can't go if nobody knows what you're doing. They can't do your job while you're gone.
I think with standard operating procedures, people they get caught up in there has to be some beautiful format that it has to be in. It doesn't. Start with the checklist. The other part is they're like, I've been doing this for 30 years and there's no way I can put that down on a piece of paper. Also not asking you to do that, right? And so
right.
just
Yeah.
simply starting off with make a list of what you do. Because I don't think people can do that sometimes.
Yep.
People, you ask them, explain what your job is, and they give you their title. That is not what your job is.
That's right.
That's what your title is. So then when you really force people to put something in writing, it forces them to make it better.
Yeah.
You're challenged at that point. You're auditing your own behavior. You're auditing yourself. You're auditing your process. And you don't realize that just putting it in writing alone, before you ever make that next hire that lets you go on vacation,
That's right.
you've already become that much better because you're auditing your own behavior.
Yep. Well, and to your point, how often do you want to write what you do?
Yeah.
And then leave, and then they're like, dude, this wasn't even close to how to finish this task, right? So
Right.
so you make it better because you're like,
make it
oh, there's a
better.
gap. I need to fix that before I give it to
Exactly.
move
or
it on.
crap. That's why we keep dropping the ball on
Yep.
that. 'cause
That's
there's
right.
nothing there.
Yep.
That's right.
It's a whole.
We've been playing what I call a game. The guys don't think it's nearly as fun as I do, but there's 2 of us that do more admin work and then 3 staff that do more ops work. So I said, give me your SOPs and I'll give you mine. And let's see if we can accomplish the task. And
Yes.
boy, that's where you find, oh man, there's a huge hole right there. How do you know which vehicle you're taking on that? Where's that part of the process? How do you know that there's a vehicle available? Is it gassed up? What does that
Yeah.
look like? And so they're like, oh, is that supposed, should that be a part of the process? I'm like, heck yeah.
The fresh set of eyes is it's truly eye-opening
It is.
when you see what you missed, and just how people approach situations differently, right? That's part of the DISC assessment, and wanting to have that full circle approach is because you get in your habit
That's right.
of solving your problems and your question, right? One of the things we just went over at our retreat is how every personality type has their question, and they're uncomfortable until their question is answered. So when you build your SOP, you answer your question.
That's
That's
right.
right.
You're not answering everybody else's question, and a good SOP answers them all.
So smart.
Good.
Love that.
It's good. All right, so y'all said that y'all are getting out there a
Yes.
little bit, right? Scaling is the word that you use.
Yes.
One of the things we talk about often is the difference between growing and scaling. And to me, the 2 biggest things is you're being intentional
Yes.
when you're scaling. Growing happens because you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
You're fun. You're likable. You start going out there in the community. That's growth. Things come in, you react, and you produce, or you give that service, right? Or
That's
you offer
right.
that product. But scaling is intentional
Yes.
to the goals that you set,
Yes.
relevant to your values and to your purpose. But the scary part is it requires change. So are y'all seeing any challenges in seeing the difference and finding out, okay, now we have to adjust behaviors?
Tons.
Basically every day.
Every day, right?
Right. And but because you have to be strategic, right? What am I spending my time on? Is it valuable to what I'm doing?
Does it match our goals
Does it
and our
match our goal?
values?
Am I going in that direction, or am I just working
Correct.
right?
Because I
And
think
so
good entrepreneurs can argue that anything that they're doing is worth doing,
That's true.
right? Because we see an opportunity in everything. We're like, yes, that's great. Yes, and this is where we're going. And yes, well, so-and-so is there, so they made sense. Wrong,
Yeah.
right? Is it
Yep.
relevant to your goals? Is it relevant to your purpose? Is it relevant to your values? Because otherwise, it is a distraction.
that's right.
And that's
Yes.
hard. It's hard to have to bring yourself in, especially when you're in that heightened excitement.
Yes.
We've
Or
had
comfortability.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's
that's-
easy to
we're
fall into the
used-
comfort
Yeah, we're
zone.
used to it. That's just what we do. And so to say,
Yeah, change is hard.
We have the conversation often. You just said, "Is this a distraction?" More often than not, it's a distraction
Right.
unless we control where it's going and are intentional about it.
Yeah, I like that. So what are some of the changes that y'all are making? You mentioned time. I think time blocking,
Yeah.
auditing each other's time, saying these are your priorities and these are your priorities. Because when y'all have a small organization, right?
yes,
When you have a small organization, teamwork is a beautiful thing and it's a very painful thing.
Yes.
And so structuring priorities and time.
that's been huge for us. We actually redefined everybody's job description. So we had this, generic job description for everyone on the staff team. And when Mike came on board, he's super creative and wanted to give us creative names. And I'm the opposite, so I'm like, okay, what does this name mean? You better give me
Super
some substance.
fun.
Yes.
However, comma, what are they doing?
Exactly.
What exactly does this mean?
Yeah.
Let's define it. And so we've been doing that for 2 years. I mean, we have been really looking at one another and saying, what should you be doing to make us successful, and
Your
what should you
highest
be
and best
doing?
use.
That's right.
And we change it. We change it pretty regularly, and we're getting close, I think, to where we can say, okay, let's just wait a year, look at it again. But that has been the craziest challenge, is to change a mindset of, if one person was responsible for multiple people and now they're not, now we need them to be driven in a different direction. That's a shift in their thinking and their habits. And so that's hard. I love to control all of the things, and that is not healthy and not helpful to the organization. And so to say, okay, here are the things that I was controlling, and this is not my business. I need to hand that to
Right.
you. That's been challenging.
Yeah.
It is. It's hard to let go.
And you're right. A small teamwork can be great or really bad. Like Jamie's fire drill doesn't have to be my fire drill,
That's right.
right?
Shouldn't be.
But there are times where somebody needs help and,
Yeah.
and you jump in and do it, but it shouldn't be that way, right?
Correct.
You work your piece, we'll work our piece, and
So we do every quarter. I pick a new theme that I hope forms a long-lasting tool. Because if we use it over an entire quarter, hopefully you build that muscle memory of continuing to use it. And our one right now that we're working through is trust is the oxygen for transformation. And trusting oneself, trusting your team, trusting your process, and trusting your metrics. And we're working through all of those because I wholeheartedly believe that it's hard to let go sometimes, but it's not always just simply because of control. Sometimes it's a lack of trust. Maybe a lack of trust in yourself, a lack of trust in someone on your team because they're not properly trained, a lack of trust in the process because it's not yet in writing
That's
as an
right.
operating procedure and you know that there's gaps, or not trusting the metrics are actually getting you towards your goal. And so until, again, you audit those things, I think everybody for a different reason hangs on to actions. And sometimes your people, they're just holding on to it because they feel that's how they add value. And if you take it away from them, they get nervous that they're not adding value anymore.
Sure.
Right? So everybody has, I think entrepreneurs just always get dubbed, you want control. And it's like, yeah, but all for different reasons. So sometimes you have to uncover what that reason is to truly allow yourself to delegate and release yourself of the task.
that's good. Add us to the quarterly newsletter so that we can we can get in on that.
Gotcha. I could. All right. Well, cool. Well, I know Jared mentioned a little goal, so I hope y'all didn't talk about this already, but what is your biggest goal for 2026?
There's several big ones.
The standard operating procedures is my biggest, but that's going to be finished at the end of the first quarter. I felt like we had already had a jump start, so that's a huge initiative. And since we started a marketing push last quarter of this year, it's been getting, I think, kind of speeding up a little bit. Our big goal is to grow client base in St. Tammany and West. And so we are pretty focused on that. We love to work, oddly enough, with production companies. Some people think that is our competitor. Most of us work really well together. Right. They're good at what they're good at. We're good at what we're good at. And so it's building those relationships from this spot on. And then
Could we
event
stop right
planners.
there and explain the difference, right? If somebody's thinking they need a production company or thinking that they need you, what are those differences?
Yes, so production means all of the things, right? You have lights at an event, you have a stage or stages, you have audio visual, you have special effects, you have the florist, the decor, all of that is part of production. And most places are really great at some of those things, and they lean on one another to help fill in the gaps of the things that maybe they don't want to do or they're not strong in that area. And so a lot of our customers are also our vendors, and that's really fun.
Yeah.
So sometimes we hire them, sometimes they hire us, and I like that. I like when someone calls me to know, is this a client that I'm going to serve, or am I going to call a colleague in the industry and they're going to serve them, and I'll support that. So we've been really pushing on building relationship with some of the larger production companies outside of New Orleans. We have great relationships with those inside of New Orleans, and then event planners. There's lots and lots of event planners.
So many.
Yes. And so it's just getting to know them. Our favorite thing, because it's so hard to explain who we are and what we do demo days. That is our favorite thing in the whole world. We love to go to venues, we love to meet with event planners, and we love to just show our toys off. That's huge, I think, to be able to see it, touch it, feel it, know what it looks like, and say, okay, I do want that. Okay, I would like that for something. So
My best friend got married this weekend and at the Henry Smith house. And then all of a sudden, these fireworks went off at the end. And I'm like, wait, when was that happening? Nobody told me that was happening. I'm like, I was maid of honor. I feel like I should have been let in on this secret. But it was really cool. And, I bring that up because it truly changed the level of excitement in the room with
Yes.
one simple thing. It was just two little standing things of sparks.
Yep.
That's it. But it was like, oh, wow.
We get to be
Made
a
the
part.
moment
We get to
magical.
be a part for a very small amount of time of someone's most amazing day of their life.
Right.
So it's not just the wedding. It could be the graduation, or when we do an NFL game, and the staff makes fun of me. We're doing it in one of 16 places in the entire world.
True.
That's pretty cool, and it means a
Yeah.
big deal to a lot of people. And so
I love that you are adding to the significance by honoring the significance of the event.
that's right. You have
and
to.
he loves that stuff. He loves it. I think my first exciting moment was being at a graduation, and we do the streamers, and it's really cute and stuff. But I was watching the graduates take the streamers with them, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a memento. Like they're gonna keep that from that special day. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's really neat.
That is very cool. So weddings, graduation, NFL events, what are some of the other common celebrations?
We're getting into some more corporate events. I love ribbon cuttings. They're really fun. I absolutely adore Robin Roberts. I'm an alum of Southeastern, and she just did a big ribbon cutting for the broadcasting building, and had the pleasure of meeting her at another nonprofit event in Pass Christian. And so I said, hey, if you need something for that ribbon cutting, give me a call. And they did. And so we had to do the streamers for that event. And that was like, that's, going way back to what Jared talked about in the beginning. It's like, holy cow, she gives back to the community. She's calling other businesses that want to give back to the community. It's just it was a really cool day. So I love those cool days. Like, of course, we love big events. We do Mardi Gras balls, and that's really cool and crazy, convention center, the Raising Cane Center, the Superdome. Like we do those big things, and then it's like really cool to be at a gender reveal.
Right.
And then you're just, shooting. Sometimes we do the powder, where it's pink or blue. Sometimes it's streamers or confetti, and that's like small moment, but it's like it's the same.
It's
wow.
so important to them.
Yeah.
That moment is so important to that family.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's really cool. Any other special events you could think of?
High school football.
Oh yeah, we just got into high school football.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Like you can't. The energy that's there is unlike any other place.
My husband and I
know.
talk about it all the time. Like, we miss it. Like, sometimes
Yeah.
we'll hear songs that we went to the same high school that'll play, like, that was from Friday night, and we, like, get amped up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
still today,
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we're such nerds.
Yeah,
It's 25 years ago. We're so excited
It's
still.
that nostalgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
A
li- we
feeling
like-
just by a song coming on from
Yes.
Friday Night Lights. It
What
is,
else?
it is a truthful thing.
Homecoming.
Oh, we're doing a birthday party, a 16-year-old birthday party. That hasn't happened yet, so that should
dang,
be
she's
exciting.
16.
We've done some baby, like baby announcement part. People are having parties for things you didn't think they had parties
All the
for.
things.
I
And-
love it. So
and I'm
it's,
glad that they
you're
are.
going direct to consumer and to event planners and full production.
Yep.
That's right.
I mean, that's a win-win. That's a true way to impact the community for sure, especially something that's memorable.
I think
That's
so
right.
too.
Right? On
Yeah.
those special events.
That's right.
Y'all are exciting. See, we as lawyers, we deal with people's problems,
Yep.
so that's not fun. And y'all get to celebrate with people, so that's really fun.
I talk to lawyers too often.
I think that's right. Look, I mean, y'all do have fireworks, okay? Y'all do have fireworks. It is a thing.
And staff and transportation and all of the fun
Talk to
things.
lawyers, insurance companies. Make sure we got that underway.
All of the vowels: attorneys, insurance,
And
accountants.
Accountant.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my job. That's the part. I'm like, aw, you guys are like going. He was at LSU today playing, like getting ready for SEC basketball time and gymnastics coming up. And so he comes home and he's like, and we're talking about this and this. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I was working on budget.
I was doing numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm the numbers girl here. So if you ever want to cry about it together,
Oh, good.
it's totally fine.
It's like I need it. I need it to survive. I need to look at it. I love a forecast. I love a P&L at the end of the month. But I also like sometimes want to close the book and then go do the fun things.
Or too, like I don't think people realize how creative finance can be. Like some of it's subjective.
That's right.
Right? And you're making some really tough decisions sometimes. So having somebody there to support,
Yeah.
you know, it's good. It's good to have a supporting back on
I
that.
might call you.
Us nerds.
Yeah.
Us number nerds.
Y'all can
Yes.
have it.
It's okay. I always joke. That's what everybody's like. How do you know all this? Like, I don't know how someone can be born and choose all their electives to be in accounting. I did like every elective in college. I guess I just knew I wanted to go into business. And they were like, you just take one more class and you can get a double major accounting degree. And then it served me right. And doing it, it helps me with helping with business acquisitions that I did for a long time. And now obviously running this. So.
That's amazing.
super
I
fun.
find that was a big for me. I liked math in school. That was one of my favorite classes. And it was really big for me going into nonprofit. When people get into nonprofit, they don't realize that it is a business and you must run it as such because it's even more important. I'm not playing with my money.
If I do share responsibility,
It is
that you
other
have to all the
people's money.
donors.
Yeah.
That is right. And so you can tell almost instantly when you meet a nonprofit, whether or not they take that seriously or not. And our community is amazing and they do a great job with it. But man, you need a numbers person, even in a nonprofit, just, checking those numbers all of the time. And I don't think
a lot of
people think about it.
compliance. They don't. No, I can tell you they don't because we help establish nonprofits and they come in and I mean the stories. It's amazing what they want to do, the impact that they want to have, or the trauma that they went through that brought them there. And we love that part of it. But we're like, okay, now we actually have to talk about whether you can do this.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, luckily we have a lot of resources in our community and Leslie North Shore Community Foundation, like they are there and available and can do amazing things for people that just cannot get it together
So
to run a
she's-
business or don't want to.
She's my number one referral. Anytime I talk to somebody and they say, we want to, other businesses, we want to support nonprofits, we're not sure who to support, I instantly send them
Absolutely.
to the foundation because they have the tap on everything. And Leslie and I used to do AFP, the Association for Fundraising Professionals, together when I was in the industry. And so we knew all about the other nonprofits and collaborated. And so her being there and having such a good background with nonprofits, she's a safe space, I think, for
She is.
people that are not sure who they want to donate to or why,
And I think there's so many causes that overlap
There
as
are.
well. And, as a business owner and we get pulled to support all of them, it can be very difficult. So like on one hand, it's like, of course, I can charge you to create this nonprofit, but you're telling me something that is very, very similar to these people right over here. And I could also push you over there with them. And together y'all can have some synergy that propels even farther. So I feel like in the nonprofit space, we do a lot more introductions
Yes.
than we do setting them up. And then there's sometimes that you do get those novel ideas as something that is missing in our community that we can say, okay, we got you. Let's do this. Now you have to form a board. And they're like, what? Where do I start? And so, again, it's incredible to know all the resources that we have in the community because we do have so many good people in the nonprofit space. But I also think that we have to be responsible
Yes.
and make sure that we make those connections because it's really hard to cut a dollar, right? I mean, they stop making the penny. Like,
That's right.
it tells you that it's going to be harder moving forward, right?
That's
so
right.
sometimes just putting people together is a win.
I love that. And I love to see when they're collaborating with each other. Just like in our industry, we love to collaborate with the other production companies. It's smarter to work together. I like the same thing in the nonprofit world when there's ways for them to work together.
It truly is. And I think if I pulled anything out of what you explained, you have a real collaborative environment. When your client can also be your referral partner and you're also referring to them, like that creates a synergy that is so beneficial to the community. I mean, there's certain aspects of our business because, we have multiple businesses under the
Yes.
umbrella. And there's certain ones that our referral partners, we rarely get the opportunity to refer them. And when we do, it's so exciting. And we are so selective about it, right? Because it's a gym and you've watched these people support you and you want to do everything to support them back.
Yes.
And so you're really thinking like, who is the best fit personality wise? And, so their energies match and they can really help one another, because to me, referring somebody is like such a great love.
Yeah.
Because it is truly trusting that your standards are being met. Like that's
right.
the highest admiration in my opinion.
Highest compliment you can give to another business is to do that. Totally think that.
It truly is. So I love that y'all take ownership of that and again have that back and forth opportunity. That's
Yes.
a lucky win-win that you have there.
It's great.
Yes.
All right, so if somebody wants to involve y'all in all of your toys, I love that y'all call them the toys all the time, and let you bring their favorite toys to
Yes.
their event, how do they get in touch with y'all?
Easiest way is you go to our website. It's www.afxpro.com. You can email us, info@afxpro.com, Mike at afxpro.com, Jamie at afxpro.com. Or you'll see us here. We eat here. We live here. Our kids go to school here. So
Just grab you.
just grab us.
Hey, I need your streamers.
We don't close. There's no hours on our Google search, right? 'Cause,
Great.
we're here.
Now, do y'all post on social media so they can kind of see some examples?
Yes. So we have an awesome marketing company that we utilize. I am terrible at social media.
Yes.
So I hired someone who's really good at it and really good at showing off what we do. And so, yes, you can see it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
All under AFX Pro?
That is correct.
All right, cool. I mean, I feel like that's the easiest way, right? To go
Agreed.
see what your options are,
Take a look
see
at
what
it.
type of events it fits, and then be able to call and have that conversation.
Absolutely.
But I can personally attest, I mean, I've been at these events and it's a whole nother experience when y'all are involved. So I appreciate it. And I want disco ball earrings. So,
Deal.
Yes.
okay.
And the
we
snow machine's on
We
the
got to
way.
make that happen, right?
Yes, 100%.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate your
Thank
time.
you
Thanks
for
for having
having
us.
us.